and welcome to the 16th episode of Renaissance Weekly. So glad you could join us. For those who don't know what Renaissance Club is, we are a non-profit rehabilitation clubhouse for adults with mental illness. We are your co-anchors. I'm Michael Close. This is Michael D'Annunzio.
Hello, Mike. What do we have on the show today?
I'm glad you asked. Today on the show, we have my review of Zootopia, as well as a continuing interview with Bob Ethier, a recipe corner with Kathy Closey, and a poetry corner with Ashley Cormier. First, we got a weather report from our very own weatherman, Walter Villigor. Walter, let's go with the weather.
Thanks, Mike. This week's forecast is Monday, mostly cloudy, high of 48, low of 34. Tuesday, rain, high of 53, low of 38. Wednesday, AM showers, high of 50, low of 30. Thursday, partly cloudy, high of 48, low of 28. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 45, low of 30. Now back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Walter. Today is White Chocolate Cheesecake Day.
Yum.
What can make cheesecake even better? Making it from chocolate, of course. There's no better dish to dedicate a day to celebrating, especially if that involves eating it. Whoever decided to start White Chocolate Cheesecake Day must have been a big fan of this tasty dessert. While you might expect cheesecake recipes to have originated in the 20th century, you'd be wrong. A form of cheesecake actually dates back to the ancient Greeks, and seems to have been an offer to the first Olympic Games in 776 BC. The recipe spread from there and has been refined along the way, especially with the use of cream cheese rather than flour, honey, and cheese ingredients of the earliest version. There are hundreds of variations of white chocolate cheesecake recipes, so you'll be sure to find your perfect dessert. Alternatively, celebrate the day by making up your own version. Or be a rebel and just have regular chocolate cheesecake. You won't tell.
That's fine. Chocolate cheesecake.
Wish we had some right now.
Yeah, seriously. Today is also Frozen Food Day. While you might expect Frozen Food Day to be invented of a manufacturer of frozen foods, it was actually inaugurated by U.S. President Ronald Reagan in 1984. Frozen food slowly is not very tasty when defrosted, but flash frozen food, the technique of freezing food quickly, keeps the food as fresh and delicious as it is when it was first frozen. Flash freezing technique was developed by none other than Clarence Birdseye, inspired by seeing Inuit eating thawed fish which had been frozen months earlier. You might recognize the Birdseye name from the frozen food section. Yeah, oh yeah. Then put two to two together there, folks. Nowadays, frozen food is a lifeline to many busy cooks, whether it's used for certain ingredients such as frozen vegetables or the whole dish itself. We all have those days where we're tired and just don't want to cook. So just throwing yourself together a frozen food meal is the easy way to do it. So today, go out and just do a frozen food meal. Or just go out and buy some Birdseye.
And then have some chocolate cheesecake for dessert.
Yeah, why not? And that's all. You can all buy that pre-cooked, so you don't have to do any work. Today is March 6th, and if you have a birthday today, you celebrate with the likes of David Gilmour, lead guitarist for the experimental rock band Pink Floyd, turns 71. Kiki Dee, English pop singer who performed with Elton John on the songs Don't Go Breaking My Heart and True Love, turns 70. Rob Reiner, originally Meathead on All in the Family, as well as the director of This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and Misery, turns 70. Tom Arnold, Celebrity Loser, turns 58. He's not a celebrity loser, folks. That's the way I put it. Sorry, Tom. D.L. Hughley, stand-up comedian who was the first host of BET's Comic View, who created and starred in the sitcom The Hughleys, turns 54. Val Venus, Canadian-American wrestler, turns 46, most famous for WWE stint as the sexy hello ladies guy, the guy, like porn star guy back in the 90s. Fantastic character. Shaquille O'Neal, at 7 foot tall, Shaq was one of the best centers in the NBA. He turns 45 today, folks. And he might be fighting Big Show in WrestleMania, so, that's interesting. Been watching WWE at all, since we're talking about WWE just a second ago. Cooper Manning, the eldest Manning brother of two-time Super Bowl winner Eli and Peyton Manning, turns 43. Nobody knows who he is. Sorry, Cooper. Ellen Muth, best known for her role as George Lass in Dead Like Me, turns 36. Jake Arrieta, pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, turns 31. Marcus Smart, point guard of the Boston Celtics, turns 23 today. Egg McMahon, sidekick of Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show, as well as the host of Star Search and TV's Bloopers and Practical Jokes, who died in 2009, would have been 94 today, folks. Lou Costello, comedian famous for his Who's On First routine with partner Bud Abbott, who died in 1959, would have been 111 today. George Luger, Australian gun design, who designed the Luger pistol, would have been, who died in 1923, would have been 168 today. And finally, Michelangelo, Italian Renaissance artist who painted the Sistine Chapel and sculpture the Statue of David, who died in 1564, would have been 542 today, folks. Speaking about today, that leads us into our next topic, on this date in history with Michael Closely.
Thanks, Mike. Today in history, in 1820, the Missouri Compromise is signed into law by President James Monroe. The Compromise allowed Missouri to enter the Union as a slave state, brings Maine into the Union as a free state, and makes the rest of the northern part of the Louisiana Purchase territory slave-free. In 1831, Edgar Allan Poe was removed from West Point Military Academy. In 1834, in York, Upper Canada, is incorporated as Toronto. In 1836, during the Texas Revolution, at the Battle of the Alamo, after a 13-day siege by an army of 3,000 Mexican troops and the 187 Texas volunteers, including frontiersman Davy Crockett and Colonel Jim Bowie, defending the Alamo are killed and the fort is captured. Remember the Alamo. In 1899, Bayer registers aspirin as a trademark. In 1918, U.S. naval boat Cyclops disappears in the Bermuda Triangle, the very first known recording of something disappearing there. In 1950, Silly Putty goes on sale in the United States. 1964, the Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad officially gives boxing champion Cassius Clay the nickname of Muhammad Ali. In 1967, Jimmy Hoffa enters Lewisburg Federal Prison for the crime of tax evasion. In 1975, for the first time, the Zapruder film of the assassination of John F. Kennedy is shown in motion to a national TV audience by Robert J. Groden and Dick Gregory. In 1981, after 19 years of presenting the CBS Evening News, Walter Cronkite signs off for the last time. In 1985, Mike Tyson KOs Hector Mercedes in one round in his first pro fight. In 1986, USSR's Vega 1 flies by Halley's Comet at 8,889 kilometers. In 1991, following Iraq's capitulation of the Persian Gulf conflict, U.S. President George H.W. Bush told Congress that aggression is defeated, the war is over. In 1992, the Michelangelo computer virus begins affecting computers, and coincidentally on his birthday.
Yeah.
Or was it a coincidence? In 1995, Howard Stern radio show premieres in Phoenix, Arizona on KEDJ 106.3 or 100.3 FM. In 1997, Picasso's painting of Tête de Femme is stolen from the London Gallery and is recovered a week later. In 2013, Microsoft is fined €561 by the Euro Commission for not providing alternative web browsers. And in 2015, NASA's Dawn spacecraft enters orbit around the dwarf planet Ceres.
Interesting. I was not aware of those dates in history. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. You know, Mike, here at the Renaissance Club we do a lot of work, but we also combine work with pleasure, which is where our social events come into play. Last week we played Monopoly and PS4. Now here is Ashley Cormier with her Poetry Corner. Ashley?
Hi, my name is Ashley Cormier and this is Poetry Corner. Today I have 2 poems to share with you today. One of them is written by Michael D'Annunzio. It's called Feelings. Shadows of the past creep up inside, darkness beholds me, I cannot see the light. Dizziness befalls me, my heart seems to grow in size. I wish that sometimes I could reach the sky, happiness surrounds me, it soothes my mind, every time I'm around thee, I want to cry. Sadness drowns me, it clouds my day, when I cannot be with you, the sun stays away. Love comforts me, it fills my soul, to have someone like you to have and to hold. That was a really good poem, Mike. Nice job. Now the second one I have is written by me. It's called Pain, Pain, Go Away. Pain, pain, go away. Why must you be here every single day? You remind me of my heartbreak. You remind me of why I'm still single. Why can't you just go away and stay away? Pain, pain, coming all at once. With you being here, I feel empty. He's glued into my heart forever, praying to God that he will see. That I want to truly help him and love him. Please, God, help me. The emptiness in my heart, the hole was caused without warning. A part of my soul is gone again. After it just came back. A man, a wonderful young man who still has the key to my heart, hoping one day he will come back and unlock it, showing my love again. Pain, pain, please leave me alone, to sit and think, without crying tears again. But to think of hope, a sliver of hope for us, that one day we can both look past this and be very happy together. I wrote that one myself. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Next time, there'll be more. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Here's Kathy Cosi with her recipe corner.
Hello everyone, this is Recipe Corner. I have a quick recipe for you for a frozen treat. This is mango sorbet. It's 16 ounces of frozen mango, 1/4 cup of light coconut milk, and 1/4 cup of honey. You put it in your blender, you mix it up and throw it in the freezer, and you got a nice summer treat. If you'd like the recipe, please go to Renaissance Weekly. You will find it in their repertoire. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to try that recipe out. That sounds so good. So it's now time for my continuing interview of Bob Ether and his collection. Collection video with Bob Ether. This guy has got so many collections. It's not funny, man. Today we're gonna be talking about. What are we talking about today? I don't even know what this
Today
stuff is.
we are talking about my currency collection.
Currency collection.
My currency collection.
What do you have for us to show, Bob? Why don't you go ahead?
I have these old Lincoln pennies from 1900s to 1969.
Lincoln pennies. Lincoln cent pennies, people. Wow. You have a 1909 penny?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's old. That's insane. And then you don't have a lot of the old ones, but it looks like you have a lot of the newer ones, huh?
Now, they're not newer, but
Like, well, let's see. The 1962 is the last one you have here.
1969.
Oh, 1969. Oh, I missed that one. But yeah, looks like you almost got this complete. You almost got all of them, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. You just need to get this one done.
Yeah, I know.
So what else do we have here, Bob? With this?
We also have some different types of coins, like this one right here, the United States dollar.
Let's see. $1 coin. I haven't seen one of these things in forever. 1976, it says on it. Wow. Who's on that?
Let me see.
You know? I don't know who's on it.
Oh, Eisenhower.
Eisenhower?
Yeah.
This looks like Kennedy. Is that Kennedy on that one?
Yep. This is a John F. Kennedy half-dollar bill.
$50 bill. John F. Kennedy $50 bill. Apparently he was worth half of what Eisenhower is.
Yeah, we also have these old coins right here.
Yeah,
This is an old penny.
1 cent Canada. 1861. Wow, folks. 1861. You can see that. That's just like insane. That is so old. And it's probably worth a lot more money now. Maybe. You ever get these things valued at all?
No, I don't have these things valued at. But I also have a golden dollar.
Is that the Sacagawea dollar?
Yeah, it's a Sacagawea.
Sacagawea dollar. That's a little. They're a little newer now. Not that old.
Yeah. I'm gonna invest in some golden dollars.
So.
You know what I
And then
mean?
you have some actual currency. What do you got here? What's this?
This is a Bahamian dollar bill from the Central Bank of the Bahamas.
Bahamas. I turn around, show both sides. $1 bill, I see. Let's see. Yeah, take a look at it. It's pretty fantastic. $1 bill. So this is money that you can use in the Bahamas. That's pretty cool. And I wonder what the trade thing is for that. Maybe my tech guy can get on that.
Yeah, and this is
How much dollars is a dollar in Bahama?
Yeah,
They're the euro.
Yeah.
and this is a Canadian dollar,
Yeah, we
an
definitely.
old Canadian dollar.
Yeah, we know that the Canadian money is more money in the United States than Canada. I know that.
And I have this thing called a silver certificate. It's a dollar bill, but this is from 1930s.
It's a pretty old dollar bill. Let me see. Look at that. 1935. This bill was generated out in 1935. This bill is over 70 years old then. That's crazy. 80 years old. That 35? Yeah, 80 years old. At least 80 years old.
And I also have a $2 bill from 1976.
$2 bill. They just started making these again. I know that. I just recently heard that they bring back the $2 bill to the place. So this is 40 years old, which is great. They know they discontinued them for a long period of time. So it's nice that you actually still have one. I mean, especially that old.
I also have a Canadian coin collection, individually wrapped.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do you got here? We got a Canadian 5 cent, 10 cent, 25 cent, 50 cent, $1, and a penny. They look like they have geese on one of them, a rabbit on another one. And they have all different kinds of animals on the back of each of them, and then they have looks like the Elizabeth II on each one. So, and a different animal. They have a wolf, a dove, a fish, a goose, a cougar, and a rabbit. That's interesting. So, see that. And, it's kind of hard to see the back of that, but pretty fantastic.
But the most priceless item that I have is a Air Force One book of matches from the 1960 that was when John F. Kennedy was president.
So this is actual book of matches from the Air Force One.
Air Force One, yeah.
That is fantastic. And how'd you get this?
From my father and my grandfather.
From your grandfather? So your grandfather must have been...
Mostly my grandfather and my father were friends with the President of the United States.
That's great. That's
And
fantastic.
the thing, I've been told not to sell it.
Yes, this is probably worth a lot of money. The fact that I'm just holding it makes me probably decrease in value right now.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
You should say that this is probably the most expensive thing that you have here, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Give it back to me.
Blooper.
Well, and also, I also bring some of my singlets.
One of these singlets.
Yeah.
So, well, that's great, Bob. I really appreciate you bringing in stuff. We've pretty much got to know Bobby if you're in and out, folks. I don't think there's any more than learn about him. He's got it all. He's done it all. He has it all. It's fantastic to see these things. People that collect coins and stuff like that. So I was, great having you here again, Bob. I'm going to shoot it back to the studio, and we'll be looking forward to seeing more Bob Beathier videos soon, folks.
Now here is my review of Zootopia. Disney's Zootopia was declared the Academy Award winner for Best Animated Feature. Having also seen Moana and Kubo and the Two Strings in theaters as well, rather unsure which of the three would end up as the Best Animated Feature Oscar, but I'm quite happy to see Zootopia take that honor. Zootopia grossed $341 million in the US and Canadian box office, and $682 million in other countries. Zootopia is also known as Zootropolis, Zootopia, and Zoomania overseas because a zoo in Denmark had the name Zootopia trademarked since February 2010. Givskud Zoo is planning on using the name for what has been called the world's most advanced zoo, which is expected to open in 2019. The film stars Jennifer Goodwin, who you might know as Snow White in the TV show Once Upon a Time, and Jason Bateman, who was best known as Michael Bluth in Arrested Development, as well as Horrible Bosses movies and many more. And Idris Elba as Chief Bogo, who was Heimdall in Thor movies, as well as Luther on Luther. He was also the voice of Shere Khan in the new Jungle Book movie. After all this time, what else can I say about this movie? It was fantastic. Disney once again hit one out of the park. I love the story and how it felt so original, yet also so relatable. I give this movie 5 stars. Won the Academy Award for Best Animated Picture, so, of course, it was great. Go see it if you haven't already. Now back to the studio. In honor of Zootopia, I have a joke for you today.
What? You stealing my thing?
So, Mike, what do you call a 3-humped camel?
Oh, we're doing it from the zoo. Okay. I don't know.
Pregnant!
Ha.
Ah. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Mike Pelosi.
Michael D'Annunzio.
Thanks for joining us here once again at Renaissance Weekly. Remember, folks, life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow.
This episode is brought to you by Febreze.
Can't you say that? Can't you say that?
And go. Like 4 times to this week. Yes.
Folks, shit. Jumping the gun again. Alright. Edgar Allan Poe removed that.
Unique was developed by none other than Clarence Birdseye. Interesting. Bird's eye. Interesting.